I was getting some chop on the inner wheels here on my 19.5s. Yeah, they're junk. So this thing had a little bit of negative camber in it. It seemed to take bumps better through the neighborhood, but right on. All right, this side's all bundled up with the new outer tie rod and new shock. Over here, the minor hiccup, but that's no good. 18 mils. Oh, nice. So I'll have to cut that off, and had to cut this lower mount off. It was welded on. All right, I didn't really think to film this because it's pretty basic, but I'm doing front shocks on the 3rd gen Cummins. It's 2-wheel drive. It is a little different from 4-wheel drive. Actually, it's probably easier. It's real straightforward. You can honestly probably do this with the wheel on, even if you have room to get up over the tire to get to that nut. But that's 19 mil. That's got to come off. You're going to want to soak it. Put some vice grips on the flat in there. Turn that nut off. And then on the bottom, you have those two. Well, this side looks like that's been welded on, but there should be 2 of those 13 mils. Oh, nice. So I'll have to cut that off and probably put a bolt in there. But anyways, you take those off and the shock drops right down. So you could definitely probably do this with the wheel on if you can reach over the front to get to that nut, or maybe even turn the wheel full sideways to lock and access that. But I got new KYBs for it. Here's one of the old ones. It's pretty scorched, but yeah, it's super straightforward. All right, this side's done. Took probably 2 minutes. Essentially, you just want to tighten that down. Honestly, when it gets snug enough, it'll try to start turning this rod, and then that's probably tight enough. Real basic. Very easy job. I did notice I have a outer tie rod's got a little bit of play, so I'm gonna change that real quick while I got the wheel off and it's jacked up. But one side down with a shock, the other side looks like I gotta cut a weld, but it still should be fairly quick. Okay, so this is a Moog outer tie rod. I don't even know if I've had this thing in for a year. It's hard to say, but anyways, this thing is dog crap. You can tell it's pretty new by the looks of it, and I remember changing it, but that's no good. That's crappy. Luckily, the one I have to replace it is another Moog. Congratulations to me. All right, this side's all bundled up with the new outer tie rod and new shock. Over here, had a great time. Had to cut this lower mount off. It was welded on. I'm assuming the stud broke and someone welded it on. I don't remember doing that. I don't think it was me, so just had to grind all that down. I just punched the broken stud out through the top. You can see the hole there. I'll just get a new bolt and run that through there. You should be able to get a wrench up there to tighten it down, so it should be pretty straightforward. The minor hiccup. Okay, passenger side's all wrapped up. I just used a bolt there for the lower mount. Pretty straightforward and easy. The old shocks were smoked. I'm thinking that might have had to do with I was getting some chop on the inner wheels here on my 19.5s. Starting to get like a humming, which sounds like a wheel bearing, but it's just a chop of the tire. But yeah, these shocks are smoked. Compress this one and it won't even come back. Yeah, they're junk. So cool. This thing hopefully is noticeably better going down the road. All right, not only did I do the shocks, I also adjusted my camber and caster a little bit with the upper control arm. This thing had a little bit of negative camber, and it definitely got camber gain under compression. So I added some more positive camber to it, and you can visually see I didn't do any measurements. There's not a whole lot of adjustment, but it definitely looks better. It's not negative camber at all like a drift car, so that's cool. And I took it for a test drive. Everything feels nice. It's hard to say since I normally have a trailer hooked up, but I'll find out soon enough. Other than that, it seemed to take bumps better through the neighborhood, but right on.